With the world being more familiar with cryptocurrency and with the ever-growing popularity of the blockchain technology, we would not be surprised anymore if there will be new cryptos being introduced each month, each week, and maybe even each day. But sometimes we get overwhelmed with all the releases that we sometimes forget to look for the needle in the haystack, the new crypto that may make a name for itself as a big crypto. Will VVS Finance be the answer to our question today? Stick around to find out. Hello and welcome to another episode from Crypto Cash Out, where we bring you the latest and most exciting news that falls under the crypto space. Quickly before we begin, it is important for you to remember that what we say and show in this video should not be taken as financial advice, as we are not financial experts. We are just fans of crypto just like you, and we want to share information about the topic at hand. Now, without further ado, let's head on to the video. VVS Finance is a relatively new crypto that was released in the later part of November 2021. So if you haven't heard of the name yet, well, don't worry, as you are not the only one, and we are here to share information about the token and let you decide if you want to invest in it or not. Remember though that you must only invest what you can afford to lose. To avoid losing a ton of money, it would be best for you to do additional research after this video. Not much is known about the company or group of people behind the design and development of VVS Finance, because VVS is generally a new and upcoming crypto. A lot of people have questions regarding the future and how much VVS is going to grow as a cryptocurrency. What is clear is that very simple, or VVS for short. Finance is an automated market maker, or AMM, that is also designed as a decentralized finance or DeFi platform. It is first of its AMM kind to run on the Cronos blockchain of Crypto.com. In Cronos, it provides swap, liquidity pool, and staking services for you to enjoy. And because it is relatively new crypto, some experts believe that now is the best time for you to buy while the price is as low as it is now. AMM is also a decentralized exchange that utilizes a mathematical formula to calculate the rates of exchange. This is different when compared to the traditional crypto exchange that makes use of order books. Speaking of the price of the coin, let us jump right into what we know of it at the moment. At the time of the writing, VVS is valued at a very low price of $0.00003,525. Yes, you heard it right. That was 4 zeros before a different number was mentioned. Because of this extremely low price, this means that you can buy a million VVS and would still not make a dent in your bank account. But with the market cap of around $80 million, a lot of people are turned off with the coin because of how low it is. Currently, there are over 2 billion VVS in circulation and a total supply of, brace yourself, 100 trillion VVS. What is currently in circulation for VVS is just a small fraction of what they can be. Knowing all of that information, would it be safe to say that VVS will one day reach the dollar mark, or maybe even just a cent? Well, it definitely is not impossible, but it would take years before it will be able to reach a number like that. With the current state of the coin today, a couple of years will be required for it to grow massively. That is why it is great to buy multiple of it. If you are a high-risk type of investor, then this coin is definitely made for the likes of you. Experts believe that it has a great potential to make a name for itself, and the return for you is expected to be massive. As mentioned earlier, millions of tokens are going to be cheap, but the potential rewards for you will be great, so what are you waiting for? However, if you have doubts with the token, don't worry, we don't blame you. The coin had an all-time high of $0.00014 back in December, and it hasn't been close to the price ever since. Some people are skeptical whether it will even reach a cent, so don't worry if you don't find this project too appealing. Unless, of course, you are waiting for a price prediction, which we will talk about right now. The current run VVS is on is bearish, but that does mean that it will all be doom and gloom for all you potential buyers out there. For the website CoinDataFlow, they have a lot of indicators that now is a great time to buy VVS, as it is seen to grow in price when compared to the year-on-year growth of the internet and mobile phones. Its year-on-year prediction can also be compared to huge companies such as Google and Facebook, wherein they predict the token to also rocket, which means a buy for you. If you guys want a more number-oriented prediction, Let us head on to the prediction from Digital Coin Price. For them, they see the coin to have a more upwards trajectory for the coming years. Although that upward trajectory is going to have its ups and downs, it will have more gains, especially in the long run. They see the coin to average $0.00048 for the year 2022. Next year, they predict the coin to be around $0.00057. After 5 years in 2027, the coin is expected to be at $0.001, which is one step closer to reaching the cent amount. Let us now head on to priceprediction.net, where they see a similar general trajectory with digital coin price, but they predict the growth to be much faster here. In 2022, they predict the coin to average around $0.0004. Next year, it will be averaging $0.00064. In 2025, they predict the coin to be $0.00014, and the growth will continue. And in 2030, they predict the price to be around $0.00089. Now, although there are forecasts that see the coin rise over the years, there are also those who do not think that the price will rise anytime soon, or maybe even ever. The website Wallet Investor sees the 1-year forecast for the coin to be around $0.00042. This may be due to the fact that the price of VVS is already low and only 2% of the maximum supply is only in circulation. This is also what some experts worry about VVS. But again, always remember that there are tons and tons of external factors that may affect the price. One factor that may affect it is with its partner, Crypto.com. If you have been following the crypto news lately, you might have heard already that Crypto.com is expecting a huge growth thanks to KPMG Canada is now accepting Bitcoin and Ethereum into their system. This led to a second-hand effect with Kronos that is leading Coin to have a bullish run at the moment. And because VVS Finance is a partner of Crypto.com, we may also see a positive effect on VVS, but this has not translated into the price graph. If you want to buy VVS coins, you can head directly onto VVS Finance or to their partner Crypto.com. However, there are people suggesting that you should just buy it on Crypto.com as it is much safer and faster. Another thing you can do is that you can swap tokens on the platform. When you do, you will be rewarded with liquidity provider or LP tokens that you can use in their crystal farms and receive VVS rewards, or you could let it sit as proof of ownership to earn 0.2% worth of the transaction fee when a pair is tested. They also have what they call glitter mines that work as a passive investment wherein you stake the VVS you earn in order to receive even more VVS. More about the liquidity pools. The protocol of VVS also follows a constant product formula which make it so that for every LP, the product of the quantities of the two tokens will be the same before and after the transaction is made via a swap. The price slippage is dependent on the ratio and quantity of tokens being made during the swap in the pool. If they really want to turn things around, they really need to start looking ahead into the future of things. Right now, things are looking abysmal for them and they are looking for anything that may leverage them into prices that may earn the respect of the masses. They can't just sit down and wait for the prices to skyrocket without doing anything. Good for you because they have released a roadmap for the year 2022, and even though the time frame for each project is wide, you can still be excited as to what they have in store for us. The first and probably most exciting thing in the roadmap is a plan for an NFT collection sometime in the second or third quarter of the year. Another thing in the roadmap is having a voting governance which allows users to voice out their opinion about the platform and make changes. Things included here are smart removal, Flash LP, VVS Gotchi GameFi, and a VVS Union Club, among others. You may be a skeptic when it comes to VVS Finance, or you could also be one of those who trust it fully. You can't deny that VVS is really trying to make things as simple as possible to attract new users to their platform. And even though it has experienced it rough in the past couple of weeks or so, we are excited to see what the future holds for VVS. Hello! Thanks for watching the video. If you like it, you're always free to hit that like button. It helps us a ton. Speaking of helping us, please subscribe to help us grow and reach more people in the future. Another benefit of subscribing is that you will be updated on our latest videos, games. Comment your thoughts about VVS Finance down below and you might be chosen for the shoutout giveaway, so you don't want to miss that chance. If you like playing games, then we have a video about Illuvium, which is a blockchain game that has been making noise in both crypto and gaming industry. Until next time, have fun cashing out!